Federal law enforcement officials are warning of potential threats here in the U.S. related to the Israel-Hamas war. Catherine Herridge has details.
With emotions running high at protests across the country, in New York City to Chicago and Washington, D.C., a new federal law enforcement bulletin obtained by CBS News warns individuals or so-called lone offenders inspired by or reacting to the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict pose the most likely threat to Americans.
There has been a significant increase in reported threats all across the country.
Attorney General Merrick Garland saying today the increased threats target Jewish, Muslim, and Arab communities. The intelligence bulletin details reports of physical assaults, bomb threats, and online calls for mass casualty attacks. With metal barricades again securing the U.S. Capitol and armed security at places of worship, a separate alert from New York City police identifies an uptick in violent neo-Nazi messaging online and finds foreign terrorists like al-Qaeda are calling on followers to attack Americans and Western Europeans.
Current threat environment is dynamic and complex.
Javed Ali is a former counterterrorism official.
Can Homeland Security stop the violence from coming here?
Homeland Security is in an excellent position to try and prevent any foreign directed threat from entering the United States. But unfortunately, you can never have 100% security in these kind of moments.
And Catherine joins us now for more. Catherine, as we heard earlier, the State Department Thursday took the unusual step of issuing a worldwide alert. What recommendations are they making?
Well, Jeff, these recommendations are largely for American citizens overseas. First and foremost, it's urging them to show caution, have extra situational awareness about their surroundings. That's really a nod to this increased threat environment and the concern that Americans could be targeted overseas. Number two, it asks them to register with the State Department so that they can receive emergency alerts if that becomes necessary. And finally, it also allows the State Department to track them in an emergency if there is violence. Just for some context, these are pretty significant alerts. There's a high threshold. The last time, to my memory, we had one was when the al-Qaeda leader was killed in August of 2022, and there was tremendous fear that there would be a retaliation against American targets.
Catherine, I also understand you've reviewed the State Department diplomatic cables indicating U.S. embassies are on high alert. What more can you tell us about this?
Well, Jeff, it's another indicator that the system is flashing red. These embassy diplomatic cables are sent out as kind of an all-hands-on-deck. They ask what's called the Emergency Action Committees. Each embassy has one. They're known by the acronym of EAC. They are stood up. This is the crisis management team. They do immediate assessments of vulnerabilities at the U.S. posts overseas, potential flashpoints for violence, and where they can pick up extra security from the host country. So again, pretty high threshold, and it speaks to this heightened threat environment, not only here at home, but also at American posts overseas.
Catherine Herridge, thank you.